Most people think they understand love. They think love is the butterflies, the late-night conversations, the constant attention, the feeling you get when someone chooses you. They think love means finding someone who makes them feel complete. But what if most of what we call love isn't actually love? What if we've confused love with attachment, attention, validation, fear, desire, and the need to be chosen? Because real love is much deeper than simply wanting someone in your life. Real love isn't about possessing another person. It isn't about controlling them, changing them, or needing them to behave exactly the way you want. And it definitely isn't about losing yourself just to keep someone else. Real love begins when you can care deeply about another person, without abandoning yourself in the process. Think about it. When you're attached to someone, you might constantly check your phone waiting for their message. You might overthink their silence. You might become jealous when they talk to someone else. You might fear that if they leave, you'll never be okay again. That's attachment. And attachment can feel incredibly similar to love. But there's a difference. Attachment asks, what can you give me? Love asks, how can I contribute to your life without destroying my own? Attachment is often driven by fear. Love is driven by understanding. Attachment says, I need you because I don't know how to be okay without you. Love says, I want you in my life, but I will still be okay if life takes us in different directions. A completely different level of emotional strength. Real love also means understanding that another person is not your possession. You don't own someone simply because they love you. You don't own their time, their friendships, their dreams, or their future. A healthy relationship isn't a prison where two people monitor each other. It's a partnership where two individuals choose to walk together while still remaining individuals. And this is where many people get love completely wrong. They believe that if someone truly loves them, that person should always agree with them, always prioritize them, always respond immediately, never disappoint them, and never change. But people are not machines. They have emotions, responsibilities, ambitions, fears, and struggles. Loving someone means allowing them to be human. It means communicating instead of manipulating. It means listening instead of always trying to win. It means being honest, even when honesty is uncomfortable. And perhaps most importantly, it means respecting boundaries. Because if someone has to sacrifice their freedom, identity, friendships, values, or peace just to prove that they love you, that's not love anymore. That's control. Real love doesn't ask you to become smaller. Real love creates space for both people to grow. But there's another uncomfortable truth about love that most people don't want to hear. Sometimes loving someone means letting them go. This is one of the hardest lessons you'll ever learn. You can love someone deeply and still accept that they're not meant to stay in your life forever. You can care about someone and still walk away when the relationship becomes unhealthy. You can miss someone and still refuse to chase them. You can wish someone well without needing them to come back. And you can remember beautiful moments without convincing yourself that the relationship must continue. This is where love becomes maturity. Immature love says, if you leave me, I'll do anything to make you stay. Mature love says, I don't want to lose you, but I won't lose myself trying to keep you. There's a huge difference. When someone chooses to leave, you don't have to destroy your dignity trying to change their mind. Sometimes the greatest act of love is accepting reality, not because you stopped caring, but because you finally understand that love cannot be forced. You cannot convince someone to feel what they don't feel. You cannot negotiate someone into choosing you. And you cannot build a healthy relationship by begging someone to stay. Real love requires freedom. Both people have to choose it. Real love also starts with the relationship you have with yourself. And no, this doesn't mean becoming obsessed with yourself or believing you're better than everyone else. It means developing enough self-respect that you don't accept anything just because you're afraid of being alone. If you don't know your own worth, you will constantly look for another person to prove it to you. You'll confuse attention with affection. You'll accept disrespect because you're afraid that nobody else will come along. You'll tolerate inconsistency because a small amount of attention feels better than loneliness. And you'll eventually become dependent on another person for your emotional stability. But when you learn to stand on your own, relationships become different. You stop looking for someone to complete you. Instead, you look for someone who complements the life you're already building. You don't need them to rescue you. You don't need them to validate every part of you. You simply want to share your journey with someone who respects you, challenges you, supports you, and grows alongside you. That's a much healthier definition of love. And here's something else people rarely talk about. Real love requires discipline. Feelings are easy. Commitment is difficult. Anyone can say, "I love you," when everything feels perfect. The real test comes when you're angry, disappointed, tired, or frustrated. Can you communicate instead of attacking? Can you apologize when you're wrong? Can you control your ego? Can you keep your promises? Can you remain respectful during an argument? Can you choose patience instead of revenge? That's where love becomes more than a feeling. Because feelings change. There will be days when you're excited about the person you're with and days when you're frustrated by them. There will be moments when the relationship feels effortless and moments when it requires work. Real love doesn't mean you never experience difficult emotions. It means you learn how to handle those emotions without allowing them to destroy the relationship. Love is not simply something you feel. It is something you repeatedly choose through your actions. And perhaps the deepest meaning of love is this. Love is wanting another person to become the best version of themselves, even when their growth doesn't always benefit you. Think about how powerful that is. If you genuinely love someone, you don't want them to stay with you because they're afraid. You want them to stay because they freely choose you. You don't want someone dependent on you. You want someone strong enough to stand beside you. You don't want to control their future. You want to support them as they build it. And you should expect the same in return. Love isn't two broken people desperately holding on to each other because they're terrified of being alone. Love is two people taking responsibility for their own lives and choosing to build something meaningful together. So if you're currently missing someone, don't automatically assume that missing them means you need them back. Sometimes you don't miss the person. You miss the memories. You miss the attention. You miss who you were when you were around them. You miss the future you imagined. And that's okay. You can acknowledge those feelings without allowing them to control your decisions. If someone walked away from you, let their decision teach you something. If someone chose you, appreciate them instead of taking them for granted. If you're in a relationship, stop asking only, "Do they love me?" Ask yourself, "Am I loving them in a healthy way? Am I respecting them? Am I communicating? Am I allowing them to grow? Am I still maintaining my own identity?" And if you're single, don't treat loneliness like an emergency. Use that time to become someone you would be proud to bring into a relationship. If this video gave you a different perspective on love, make sure to like the video. Leave a comment telling me what you believe real love means, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoy these videos about relationships, self-respect, emotional strength, and personal growth, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And before you leave, remember this Stoic principle. You cannot control who chooses you, who leaves you, how someone feels about you, or whether a relationship lasts forever. What you can control is how you respond. Don't beg for what isn't freely given. Don't chase what is already chosen to leave. Don't sacrifice your dignity for temporary attention. Love deeply, but remain grounded. Care about people, but don't abandon yourself. Give your best, but accept what you cannot control. Because true strength is not becoming cold enough to stop loving. True strength is becoming wise enough to love without losing yourself. Love someone freely. Let them be free. And if they choose to walk away, have the courage to keep walking forward. If you want, I can also turn this into a more dramatic, emotional version with stronger hooks every 30 to 45 seconds to improve YouTube retention.